something I support.
Well,
I will say this in closing, because this guy is a buffoon and definitely not a fan of mine or has represented anything of mine. I will say this.
He doesn't even know the Ten
point I'm
Commandments.
trying to say is...
Matthew chapter 24, verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. In Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Now, why exactly am I starting this video with a couple of those verses from the Bible? Well, you see, at one point during his tours, Charlie Kirk ended up debating with somebody at this college who dressed up like Jesus and was trying to act like Jesus and even claimed that he was. In other words, he crushed a man committing blasphemy. And as truly annoying as this Jesus impersonator was, I found this to be hilarious. But before we start, CSO family, please make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button and the notification bell down below, and share this with your friends all over the place to help us in continuing to expose leftists and the Democrats. And speaking of which, let's take a look at Charlie Kirk completely owning this Jesus impersonator, who in my opinion is one of the worst we've ever seen. And Kirk agrees.
Are you supposed to be Jesus? Is that your whole thing?
I am Jesus. Thank you, everybody.
That's awfully heretical.
I am
okay.
Jesus, he said.
Well, I heard you kept saying my name, so I wanted to show up. You know,
Okay.
I'm busy trying to save the planet from this apocalypse going on. You know what I mean? Jesus hates Christ, but you can just call me Josh. All right, why don't you ask me the questions? I'm sure you have plenty of them.
Okay, what's the Hebrew word for father?
Man, let me tell you something. Abba.
I'm sorry?
Abba.
That's the Greek word for father.
Yeah, Greek, whatever. Point I'm trying to say
Listen
is
to how
this,
Yeah,
man.
you
full
don't
of
even make a
crap he
good
is.
Jesus.
Whatever-
What language did Jesus speak?
Aramaic.
Okay, tell me one thing
But
in
you have
Aramaic.
to understand, man, I have to come here to speak to you now. You don't speak Aramaic, otherwise you and me would be speaking Aramaic.
Oh, okay,
I have to
right.
speak this kind of dumbed down stuff for
The
you.
enemy has come to lie, steal, cheat, and destroy. What did Jesus say?
I said love your neighbor.
Wrong. The
And
enemy
how
has
is that
come, hold
working
on.
out, by the way?
enemy has come
Remember
to lie.
Leviticus-
I said love
Hold on,
your
hold on a
neighbor,
second. You're not
love
even a good
God,
Jesus. It's one of the most.
and love
It's one of the
yourself.
most popular verses in the Bible. John 10:10. The enemy has come
I
to
didn't
lie,
write the
steal, steal, and
Bible.
destroy.
Who wrote that thing anyways?
I
I
have
did
come
not
to
write
give
the
life and
Bible.
life more abundantly. Okay, so you don't even know the scriptures and you're pretending to be Jesus. But tell me why you're here.
I am Jesus, and I didn't write the scriptures. I lived them. And the
But you
main
can't
thing
even
I want
remember
to
what
tell
you
you
said?
is this. I said love your neighbor and love everybody. That's
Yeah.
something that you guys really need to figure
Well,
out.
hold on a
And I
second.
know I got some of my fan club
let's
here.
hold
with
on a
the-
second. Hold
First,
on. What are those two verses?
My name was
Love your
Yeshua. Let's
love your
get
neighbor
there.
as yourself. Where is that in the Bible?
Leviticus,
I don't know, I didn't
I
write
just
it.
read.
Leviticus 19. Hold on.
I didn't
thought,
write the
I
Bible.
thought you're Jesus.
I'm Jesus.
You know
it's
the Torah,
about
right?
me, not by me.
Hold on a
Look,
second.
The point is this, my
Hold on.
friend.
Jesus,
I said love
Jesus
your
was
neighbor and love
you're
everybody. I
backpedaling
don't know
so fast because you don't
No,
even
no,
know
I'm
what it's
saying
to
the
pretend
same
Jesus.
thing I was saying
Hold
the
on a
first
second.
time.
Love,
You see, nobody believed me the first time I was here, and then you crucified me.
love-
I was just trying to say this, man.
And he's
love
cursing
everybody.
too.
Love
Jesus
your
spoke
neighbor.
against
Stop
that.
killing
But you don't
everybody.
even know
and
the verse.
Genocides are bad. How about that? You
Yeah,
want to put that in the Bible? You can add that
I
as
agree.
well.
So, okay, so you want to talk
stop
about
killing people who are just sitting there. That would be probably
are
a
you
good
trying
idea.
to connect with Israel Hamas? Is that your thing?
Pretty
or-
much the whole world
Okay.
at this point. We got a lot of issues. Kendrick, Drake, and what else is going on around here? Look,
Okay, so
I will
wait,
say
hold on.
this: they
But-
not like us, and this is pretty obvious. But I will. Look, the point I'm trying to make to you. And what was your name again? Charlie? Chadley?
I thought you're
This guy's
Jesus and
so
everything,
annoying.
man.
No, man, I'm too busy. I got an actual job to do.
Oh, yeah, so you believe in a
Like,
God
if
who's
I-
too busy,
if I were
not
like you, I'd be
omnipotent.
able to
A God
kinda
who's
sit here
too
and,
busy.
pretend that
You're the
important.
worst Jesus
But
I've ever seen,
I'm the
like-
only Jesus. And I will
You're
say
the
this,
only
I am the
Jesus.
only one. Matter of fact, that I live in all of you, and thank you for making time for me, by the way. It's been a while. Look,
Arrogant
I would
as
say
well.
this: if you really are a fan of mine and you're in my fan club, just be a nicer
Fan
person,
club.
man.
Well,
Just
where does it say to be
just-
nice in the Bible?
It's pretty much all over
No,
there.
hold on.
That,
Name
that
what-
was kind of
what
the
does the
point.
word nice mean in Latin?
The point I was trying to
It means
make.
ignoramus. Where
is
does it
to
say?
love.
Wait, in the
love.
Can you tell me the Ten
Amor.
Commandments?
How about
Let's go through the
amor?
Ten Commandments. Want to do it together?
Okay, so the Ten Commandments. Let's see if I know each and every one. I'm not going to be able to name them in order, but I'm sure I can get most of them right. I know the first one is to basically love and worship God and only God, put no other gods before him. That's the first one, I believe. There's others like you shall not steal, you shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet thy neighbor, honor your father and mother, and do not use the Lord's name in vain. That is 8 out of 10. I don't believe I can name the other two off the top of my head, but at least I'm able to name the majority of the Ten Commandments. Let's take a listen to how many of the Ten Commandments this Jesus impersonator knows.
Jesus, let's go. What are they?
Don't be an asshole. Number one.
Okay, hold on.
How about number
Nope.
1 through 10? Don't be an asshole.
Wait,
That
hold
would
on.
be a
No,
great
actually,
one.
that's not one of the Ten
pretty much
Commandments.
summed it up.
I am the Lord that you
if I'm
delivered
not
you from
mistaken,
Egypt.
what
You
I
shall
said,
know their
if you
gods
look
before me.
correctly,
You shall
I
know their
said
graven
in the Bible,
images.
I said,
You
you
shall
know
never
what?
take the
You
Lord's
guys
name in
cannot
vain. You
really
shall
handle
honor
the
your
Ten
mother and father,
Commandments,
so
so
you
I'm
may
gonna
live
sum
long in
it
the land
down
in
in
which you are
one.
in.
Just love
You shall
yourself.
honor the Sabbath day
I
and
don't
keep
know
it holy.
exactly.
You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not covet your neighbor's house.
We got a sinner go
You
over
shall.
here. 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Oh, wait,
We got a
you
sinner
don't like the
soul.
Decalogue
We
'cause
got a
you don't
sinner.
know the
Give it up
Decalogue.
for the
Okay.
sinner,
Yeah.
everybody. Give it up for the sinner,
All right.
everybody.
He knows
Good
not a
job.
Thank
single
you for,
one.
you are the worst Jesus. You don't know the Ten Commandments. You don't know anything. So
Do
thank
you
you very
know?
much. You're
Okay,
done.
but you're a
Thank you.
Christian, but you don't love people.
No,
so I
actually,
don't think you're doing the job.
Hold on a second. I love all people. What do you think about the 1 million abortions that happen every single year in this country? Is that a genocide to you?
No,
That's
what's a
definitely
genocide
murder,
is what's
at least
going
to
on
me.
in Palestine right now.
Hold on.
That's a genocide.
Don't backpedal. You're the king of the
I'm
world.
not
is what you're-
backpedaling. I'm right here in
Hold
front
on.
of you.
Let's just
Going to-
have moral
about
clarity. Do you
Palestine,
think
huh?
1 million abortions a year is a genocide?
Let me ask you this. Do you think 15,000 children is a genocide?
No, it's not even close. It's a tragedy.
Oh,
it's
it's
not
not
a
even
genocide.
close.
Hold on. Let's
Okay,
get let's
got
get
it.
our let's get our.
I think this guy doesn't know what a genocide is. What do you
Hold
guys
on.
think?
A genocide is an intentional killing of people to exterminate them.
That sounds
correct?
about right.
Okay,
That's
so
Sounds
what
like what's going on in
1930s and 40s
Palestine right
Germany
now.
did.
you
Am I
mean
not
it's an
right?
active war that Gaza started?
No, that's a genocide.
Let's
Let's
take
look
a
at the
step
let's look
back.
at the let's
How
look at the
did- how did this
apartheid that's
war
been going
start?
on there since the 1940s.
How
or
did this
before that
war
was
start?
Zionism, which is a form of European settler colonialism, which I'm
did
sure
this
you're
war-
a big fan of.
How
I can
did this
tell
war
that.
start?
How did this
Exactly.
war start?
We'll get to that
Well,
in the
you
end.
want to take it all the way back to the early 1900s?
No. On October 6th,
And we might
was
as well
Israel.
take it back. Tell you what, I was there for a lot of wars. You know,
What?
when I was around, there was a war going
On
on. There was an
October-
occupation
on
going on.
October 6th
Matter of fact, when I was
was
around,
Israel
there was
at
an
war with
occupation
Hamas.
going on. Do you know who was occupying my home when I was around the first time?
You mean like
The Romans,
the
right?
shoddy Seattle apartment that you grew
The-
up in
the-
when you
the
played
Romans?
Jesus on the afternoon?
Yeah. Shoddy
Romans?
Seattle
You know who the Romans are,
apartment.
right? The people you wish you were descended from, but you're really not?
Okay, not even sure what you mean by that. I'm asking you a question. On October 6th, was Israel actively at war with Hamas?
On this day right now, what is going on in Rafah?
Hold on, just answer the
He's
question.
Why
man.
don't you answer
deflecting.
that question?
I'm happy to. Israel is
Go ahead.
rightfully invading Rafah to go kill
Rightfully?
every
How is
last.
it rightfully?
Hold on, because I'm getting there. You have to
Go
answer
ahead.
the question. On October 6th, was Israel at war with Hamas?
I'm asking you a question. What's going on right now in
I've
Palestine?
answered the
This
question,
guy
first of all.
is
in
No, I don't think you
so
answered it correctly.
Gaza,
condescending.
not in Palestine, in Gaza, which is a strip south of Israel, Israel is rightfully invading Rafah to kill every last Hamas terrorist. Why? Because you
That's
will,
not rightful when you kill a bunch of
you're
children.
not answering the question, so I'll answer it for you. You know what happened on October 7th? A dress rehearsal to Holocaust 2.0
Oh, wow.
is what
You are
happened on
living in a
October
fantasy
7th.
land.
Oh,
And what happened before
hold on,
that?
Hold on,
What
no,
hap- what
stop
happened on
moral
October
equivocating
6th?
and stop trying to
What
justify.
happened on October 6th?
On October 6th, nothing happened.
Oh, really?
You know what happened? It was the day before one of the most holy days on the Jewish calendar.
What happened
Oh, I'm
in
sorry, you're right. Something
Jerusalem
did happen
on
on October
October
6th.
6th?
You know what October 6th happened? All the Arab terrorists were getting ready to go kill babies and women in Israel
Oh, is
to
that
go
right?
invade rock concerts, kibbutzes, and nurseries
And where are they right? Where are
and go
those
slit
where are
little
those,
babies' throats.
Where are those Arab babies
Yep.
now?
Well, I'm sorry,
Arab.
Arab babies?
Yeah,
you mean the
where
Jewish
are they
babies?
at now? No, I'm talking about the Arab ones now.
Well, hold on. You're talking about
How many of them
civilians
died?
that
How
have.
many of them died and are dying right
You
now
mean
while you're
civilians that
sitting
have
there with your
they
microphone
dec-
on?
They brought it
Oh,
upon
boy.
themselves, man.
I don't think so. And
What?
that's not something I support.
Well, hold
so
on.
I will say this in closing, because this guy is a buffoon and definitely not a fan of mine or has represent anything of mine. I
Well,
will say this.
he doesn't even know the Ten
point
Commandments.
I'm trying to say is to love everybody. That's it. Just stop killing everybody. Love everybody. Maybe you and me can get a kosher hot dog
What-
after this. I think it would be great.
What is-
love your neighbor, and they not like us. That's all I got to say.
Love your neighbor as you
yourself.
love yourself.
Leviticus 19, Deuteronomy 3-5. Hear, O Israel, I am the Lord your God. Love the Lord your God with all their heart, soul, strength, and mind. He's Jesus, but not a very good one.
Oh boy, that guy gave me a headache. You know what? I thought this was funny at first, but now this is just aneurysm inducing, and thankfully I'm only exaggerating when I say that. So we've already brought up a couple of Bible verses that pertain to this rather heated debate, as well as this very, very stupid and embarrassment of a Jesus impersonator not knowing a single one of the Ten Commandments. But one thing he brought up that did kind of interest me was him complaining that Israel is attacking the Gaza Strip. And like Charlie Kirk said, they're doing it in an effort to slaughter every single one of the Hamas terrorists. And you want to know why? Because according to NBCnews.com, They do say that more than 41,900 people have been killed, according to health officials in Gaza, since Israel launched its assault after Hamas led October 7, 2023 terror attacks, in which some 1,200 people were killed and around 250 taken hostage, marking a major escalation in a decades-long conflict. So Israel is doing all this because of the 1,200 people that were slaughtered in their main land on October 7, 2023. That would be like Japan bombing Pearl Harbor and America going to war with Japan and absolutely decimating them, and Americans complaining about it in the process. I mean, why should this be any different for Israel, huh? Hamas slaughtered over 1,000 of their people, including but not limited to women and children, and little infant babies. They effed around, now they've been finding out. At least that's how it is in my humble opinion. And I find it so annoying that people like this will just continuously talk over the other individual that they're debating against, just because they think that they can get their point across. Just because you talk louder doesn't mean you're more correct. And I really do pray that this guy, Josh as he called himself in the beginning, sees the error of his ways and he repents for what he did. This was blasphemy and everybody watching knows it. But with that being said, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this rather heated debate and our commentary on this. If you did, make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button and the notification bell down below, and let us know in the comments any other Bible verses that you think would be related to something like this. All that being said, CSO family, please don't forget to keep observing from a common sense perspective.